All right, folks. Looks like despite the glitch, that was weird. Welcome to Friday the 13th. All right, had a little glitch there getting started. It took like a minute. It was saying retry. Hope everybody's doing good, though. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're ready for the weekend. If you get a weekend, I guess. Some people's work don't start till tomorrow. That's all good. But we will start the chat with today is Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Not no slouch. Probably most significant was, well, he did several significant things, even as president. But thought we'd throw that out there for everybody. So we got going on out there. Stefan, guten Morgen. It looks like he left already early. Walker, good morning. When you return, looks like you popped out and in and back out again. And good morning, Barry. How are you doing this morning? Ready for another fine day of rain, it looks like, in your area when we get over to the weather. But I think that blizzard story definitely picking up steam. Yeah, got that big, large blob of water coming up your way, Barry, and you got all the snow stretching across the plains. Rain. And that's supposed to have blizzard conditions as it moves east. In their infamously named Storm Xanto. They need to fire their name right and their name maker. Heaviest April storm for parts of the upper Midwest. Hey, good morning, Alicia. I guess you got some snow out in Utah way yesterday, too. But blizzard, don't be driving across 90 or 80 right now. Would probably not be advised. Yeah, Walker, looks like you're going to miss out on your Saturday plans if you have anything outdoors planned. Big band of ice is never fun. Look out for the videos of wrecks, etc. (12 to 18 inches in Green Bay, Minneapolis. Madness. So it's got the maps up for, see, possible blizzard, etc. Saturday, Sunday. Lots of rain down through the south too. Alicia, are you going to have good weather? I think we are going to have good weather. We'll bounce up here in a second. I think see what it shows nationwide. But I think, yeah, we clear up and warm up, I think, this weekend. So out there in the Midwest again, all you people in Illinois and Michigan and whatnot, winter is not going away. You're going to have to suck it up, as I like to say. But I think we're high and dry Alicia in our neck of the woods, and warming up as well, not just clear. It was a little chilly this morning from yesterday. The snow that blew through and blew by. Hey, good morning, Stan. What's up? Oh, you're up there. You're getting slammed with that too, right? Ice and snow, etc. Never trust a weatherman or a bald barber. I never thought of that. Probably good advice. Truth Freeze, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Alicia, do you mean short road trip, a day trip, or like overnight? Think you'll be fine either way, as long as you don't go over the Rockies or go too far north. Don't go past Oregon. Looks even like North Idaho will have some probably weather. But what is going on out and about? I didn't have a whole lot, but I do have a couple things that just popped in, more anecdotal and local than anything. Probably hit Ottawa or Montreal, Stan, so you might be all right. You might survive. Now that apparently everybody's not scared of Syria anymore, everything kind of returns to normal, which is faking it till you make it. Third up, good morning. What's up? 70, huh? Yeah, you're going to get some weather, according to the Weather Channel. Morning, Poison Stinger. You're probably getting close to the 90s down there now, aren't you? Where did my... okay. My Drudge page got covered up. I guess Comey testifies today or something. Something like that. All kinds of madness with this FBI probe that continues to go nowhere. I mean, really, it's a kind of a slow news day since nobody's talking about. I mean, literally, remember all that talk about war with Russia and Syria, and it's gone. It's not over here. Anything about Russia or Syria? Chinese trade tariffs, a little bit. I mean, weren't we just on the verge of war like a day ago? I'm confused here, folks. I really am. Like, you talk about how quickly the media can flip a switch. It's like gone. It didn't exist. I'll do a quick search here. News search for Syria war. BBC's got a story. Top story in Washington Post 16 hours ago. They actually do a breakdown, it looks like, of the whole background of the Syrian war has been an unfolding catastrophe. Daily Star, ABC Online. Okay, 30 minutes ago. Oh, no wonder that's buried. This is out of Australia, actually. It's not even a U.S. Just actually pointing out that Russia claims it was a staged attack and calls for an emergency meeting of the UN that was updated 9 minutes ago. So actually, Australia is putting some of the information out that Russia's out actually countering it. Anybody out there watching the TV this morning? Are they talking about Syria at all? I don't watch such things, if you know what I mean. But funny how that works, isn't it? One day we're on the verge of war, the next it doesn't even pop up people's radar. I guess that's why they call it programming. Is that, or mind control, or controlling the masses, mass media? Just a thought. Just a thought. But looking back into something that we have been following, the Cape Town, South Africa water crisis, I didn't want to just look it up and see what was going on. And they taught, and it was a very appropriate title. Whatever happened to day zero? We were talking about when they actually run out of water and have to go through rationing and et cetera, and additional wells have to be, water has to be trucked in and whatnot. What happened to that? So it looks like they pushed it back. Because in January, they announced zero day to be somewhere like now. And now day zero is set for 2019. So what happened? So this paper set down with, looks like it's a Daily Maverick out of New Zealand, maybe. They sit down with the mayor to ask about this water crisis and his understanding. He's letting everybody know he was not responsible for it. Of course, everybody's going to, not admit any responsibility, even though you'd think he would be involved in the discussion. Let's not worry about TV here. All right. Saying he took over the duties for the mayor in mid-January. So this guy just took over. So I guess he gets a little bit of a pass. So Nelson, who's the current mayor, 2 priorities have been to disseminate facts and emphasize one simple order: save water. So he's blaming the panic on the previous mayor. Well, this is maybe a bad statement. It says here, the fact is we'll never run out of water. We're not going to run out of water. It's a question of management of limited water supply. It's not a question of running out. There's probably something to be said for that. There's always going to have a water, but for enough people, it depends how much you use. You're just out using more than you can replenish. In November, the dams were at record low levels. Last winter's rain was 30% of the long-term average. And the idea of running out of water became a bit more of a reality. Let me make sure I copy this over. The government calculated 174 million cubic meters of water left for the entirety of the year. That number divided by 365 days left Cape Town with only 478 megaliters. Boy, do the math on a megaliter. A day. Only 478 megaliters a day. What is a megaliter? Anyway. It's a megaliter, 1,000 liters. Why they got to make the math hard for me? 478,000 liters a day. So it says Cape Townians. Who knew? Cape Townians are still consuming 600 megaliters of water each day. So that doesn't do the math. They're short about 130 megaliters a day. The conglomeration of these factors ultimately pushed the previous mayor to tell the world without widespread approval about day zero. So going on down, and again, this will be in your description box because this gets a little bit long in the tooth here. So you'll get the gist of it. they've seen this coming, but haven't done anything until recently. Theoretically, it was predicted years ago, but it wasn't predicted for 2017. The water crisis is an issue, but day zero will never happen. Well, impartially. The president was called in for damage control, it looks like. Protest won't stop the tariff increase. What's that's got to do with water? There's a 26.9% increase on water and sanitation. There's a tariff on water and sanitation to help fund a plan to augment and desalinization technology. Well, that's a lot of tariff on your water. Tourists welcome to Cape Town so long as they save water. Their water, so it's got 7 points. So check that out if you're interested in what's coming to many places worldwide as they continue to shove people into little bitty squares, and one little bitty square can't support all the people. Like LA, they have to bring in water from hundreds of miles. That'll be cut off eventually. LA is probably our biggest example of something that's going to match that at some point, unless they do the desalinization thing like they should have done like 20 years ago. Been working on that. So what's going on? So 1 million liters berry is a megaliter. Holy cow. They use over 400 and some liters of water. So that's over a quart. Divide that by 4. We can do the math eventually, but they use a lot of water. Oh, is your temperature actually dropping, Poison? Yeah, ours was dropped yesterday. I guess you're probably a little bit behind us as it drops. The weather comes west and south, or east and south. Syrian UN envoy claims chemicals came from Libya. Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't see that anywhere in that search, did we? That's funny. There wasn't nobody doing an article about that. Funny how that works. Guys are talking about trucking. What about BLM Truth Freeze? BLM in the Animals River? I'm not sure what you're speaking of. And you guys are off topic. Man, throwing me off my game. All right, moving right along. Or not moving along, but we're in the last 10 minutes. We're in the last stretch. Right, Sparks got played again. I think that was a good video. Red October did a video yesterday about World War III ain't coming. And if it does, obviously we won't hear about it because it won't be in the news. But that was funny. He did that video yesterday, and now in the news, it's gone. It's like whitewashed. But yeah, I found an interesting article here locally talking about geothermal research that they're going to be doing, or they possibly could be doing. And I guess, Alicia, if you know where Milford, Utah is, they're working on a geothermal research lab either in Fallon here or in Milford, Utah, which I thought we had geothermal technology pretty solid. Why does the Department of Energy get involved in this? So it's a kind of an example of government waste when private industry is always already moving forward on this. Um, Ormat, which is a private Israeli-based company, uh, updated Frontier Observatory for Research in Geothermal Energy for Forage project, as they call it. And he's hopeful the DOE will award the lab to Churchill County, which is where Fallon is. While Paul Thompson, Ormat's technology executive director, presented an overview of the company's recent rebranding and history. This is just one of those things like, why does the federal government have to be involved? We got a company that wants to do geothermal. Why can't the local government take care of it? The extra layer of bureaucracy does what? So they're calling it a National Enhanced Geothermal System Field Laboratory. It produces energy by injecting and circulating water through fractured rock, then withdrawing the hot water and using it to supply a geothermal power plant. So instead of using a currently active geothermal source, it looks like they take water and inject it into an area that is potentially hot enough, I guess, to do it. I see. So making your own geothermal site by bringing in the water. Or we just talking about water shortages, and then they're going to be dumping water in like this. I wonder how water heavy use that'll be. So people might be a little dismayed at this type of project when they look down into it, that this is actually going to be a water loss. It's not going to be beneficial in the fact that most geothermal current projects use the water already in the ground that's already geothermally active. This is going to be taking water out of the system, maybe used otherwise, and injecting it for this process. There's got to be some waste there because, yeah, that should be interesting. Probably a Department of Energy idea too. So that's something. So it'll be either here or Utah, it looks like, Alicia. The idea for this began about 6 years ago. Takes the government 6 years to figure out where they want to do this. So that's interesting. That'll be in the description box. Yeah, it seems like a net waste loss on the water, though. That doesn't sound like a good idea as far as sustainability goes. Because once you inject that water into the earth and bring it out and use it, I guess you just keep cycling it potentially, but it's going to have lots of silt and everything else in it, so it's not going to exactly be 100% efficient. So that was interesting. It's interesting technology development, government bureaucracy. Probably when it gets started and gets running, it'll be 20-year-old technology. The private sector will be blasting right through it. It closes off the last statement here. Ormat has been branching out and built more than 200 power plants since the company was founded 50 years ago. Yeah, they got several places out in Nevada where they operate geothermal type stuff listed down here at the bottom. Right, Stan? Yeah, Iceland has a lot of geothermal activity, but they use the natural activity. They don't force it. This here seems like they're kind of forcing the issue instead of you know using what's available. What, hey, Alicia, globalist are moving to Utah. Whatever happened with that NSA data center issue with the water being denied to that NSA center out there that year? That was probably 5 years ago. But I remember that was a big deal, and then I don't remember what ever happened with that. Is it up and running or what? Yeah, at least if you want to wall around Utah, you better get the brick yourself. Right. All right. So I want to wrap it up. My final statement of the day. I found this little gem, just got posted this morning. President is poised to pardon Scooter Libby, Dick Cheney's former chief of staff. Remember that issue that goes back, yeah, obviously to 10 years ago or whatever, where there were big accusations and Scooter Libby took the fall. I don't remember what it was about because it really wasn't that important. Uh, they're saying he's already signed off on the pardon, and I just want to point out if the president's pardon like people like this and the Hammonds are still in jail, he's in on it. He's ignorant or in on it, and he doesn't deserve to be president. Um, Fooling everybody. So Sheriff Joe got a pardon. Scooter Libby's getting a pardon. The Hammonds set in jail. Just thought I would put that out there. Um, Libby was convicted in 2007 of lying to the FBI and obstruction of justice and that was a Valerie Plame deal. Okay, the CIA covert operative, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Scooter Libby's not even in jail. President Bush commuted his sentence, so he avoided a lot of his prison time but wasn't pardoned. So now the president just went through the formality of pardoning a guy who's not even in prison. The Old Boy Network, that's not draining the swamp. Yet the Hammonds still are in jail as domestic tourists. Oh, he's even had his law license restored in his voting rights by Virginia Governor Bob McDonald. So his life's returned to normal. Good for him. It's a sham. It's a scam. And we're getting scammed more than anybody. All right, folks. Anybody got anything else they want to throw out there? We know World War III has been averted, apparently. It's no longer in the news, so we can all go home and sleep peacefully at night. Um, Much to the dismay of what we just heard 2 days ago, where we were on the verge of nuclear winter. It's funny how that works out. Talking about water, talking about all kinds of stuff. Well, that's true, Barry. The scam's been going a long time. Indeed. Watch out, Alicia. Sparks says he's coming out to Utah when he leaves California, so watch out. All right, M. Long, have a good day. I didn't even see you pop in, I don't think. What, Alexis? Are you talking about stated what chemtrails were? Now she got scrubbed. You talking about Alexa, like the in-home monitoring device for the NSA? Is that what you're talking about? Also, for those that didn't catch us at the beginning, it is President Thomas Jefferson's birthday. We were pointing that out at the beginning. And enjoy your Friday the 13th, such as it is, unless you're a Satan worshiping banker, and then you might have concerns. All right, Alicia, have a good day. Enjoy it. All right, well, you all Friday the 13th tomorrow morning. Actually, I think we're going to do a chat tonight. Tony ran a late night 4-year Bundy anniversary chat last night, but it was low at one the night, kind of hard midweek. I was thinking about running it, and I ended up being out of the house until after 9, and I got home and I was wiped out, and I let Tony down. But we're going to run one the night. Come check it out. We'll probably hit the 4-year development of the Bundy situation pretty hard, and as usual, the last hour or so will probably devolve into madness. But come check it out. Join us, spread the word, whatever you like to do at the end of your Friday. All right, live free.